Hunters, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com. Look at that. Whoa. Today we're checking out a 2019 Kawasaki ZX6r, the Ninja 636. So this bike, yep, a little bit bigger than your normal 599cc Supersport. So this is punching above the weight class. A little bit more punch. 636cc machine, you know, gives you that little bit of extra oomph. Bike revs to, I think, 16,000. It just pulls like a freight train. But overall, look at the color of this thing. That is a stunning bike. Pearl Storm Gray is what they're calling it. Very cool color. There's a lot of grays going on today. Tell me what you guys think of the gray, the Pearl Storm Gray. Personally, I think it's cool. It's a different look. I think it works with the black and the blue. Really neat looking color combo. But as we get into this bike, as you see, it's a 2019. Doesn't have a lot of mileage, which means doesn't have a whole lot in terms of the blemishes. Now, the one thing, you can kind of see it here. Well, I don't know why these get like that. It doesn't buff out because it's somewhere inside this. Doesn't make any sense to me as to how that works, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know. Let me know. But it's, again, overall, the condition of this bike is excellent. It is like new. I love the blue wheel tape on there. That's cool. A little bit of a throwback MotoGP nod accent to kind of like the original four-stroke era. Early 2000s is when you would have seen that really prevalent. It is the slightest bit of metallic. It's really hard to see it. It's there, but it's really faint. It almost gives it a slate appearance where it's some sort of almost a flat color with a gloss on top of it. But it does have the tiniest little bit of some flake in there. It's really, really hard to see it though. M4 exhaust. We're going to hear that in a little bit. Sounds awesome. Shorty mufflers. Okay, there's one. Abbreviated tail sections today versus the old bikes. So this is what's kind of cool. This is your 2019 Ninja. So if you go all the way back into the early 2000s, the late 90s, that's the tail section of a Ninja. Of pretty much the same class, Supersport class. So everything has gotten way, way more wasp-like, if you will. The tails have become more abbreviated. The subframes are smaller. Everything got more compact, tighter. You know, and I think it looks cool. Because when you put them up against the older bikes and you see how bulbous the tail sections are, it's kind of funny. Because, you know, back in the day when everybody saw these things, you're loving them. But it's just really neat to see the next level in terms of the evolution of design. Yeah, I mean, you're not really going to see much for blemishes on this baby. Now this bike, being it that it is a super sport, means in racing, you have to build so many to homologate the bike in order to be able to race it in the class, which is the Supersport class, the 600 Supersport class. And that is what this bike is. This is what it represents. So, for all intent and purposes, this is the race bike for the 2019 year with turn signals, lights, and mirrors, and being it that it is a streetable machine. But if you wanted to take this and turn it into the actual track weapon that it really kind of is, You take all that stuff off, and you know, sometimes people get different body work, but you know, you have to take the turn signals. Well, really, the lights, you got to tape those up. The great thing about these is turn signals are integrated into the body work. The rear, it's not. You'd have to take this whole rear section off. But that's kind of one of the things today. They make these things really easy. You can pretty much pop these off, so that you could take it to the track and go have yourself one heck of a fun time. Beautiful gauge cluster, centrally located tack. Can see that this bike's got only 4,399 miles on it. It's not a lot. Your Kawasaki traction control, your KTRC. It is on one. You have presets that you can select up and through here. There's so much in terms of the electronics that you can go through and adjust if you want. You have your power modes. You can see that I'm just hitting the select button here and it toggles me through. Low power mode, traction control, full power. You have your temperature gauge, your oil, your mile per gallon, which is really cool. Obviously, the fuel gauge in the top, that's a big plus. Neutral light, check engine light, all of the corresponding lights for anything that you're going to need to know if something's going on with the bike. You can obviously reset the clock. It does have a gear indicator and a shift light. So all of the modern componentry is in this bike. Now, over here, controls are really simple. It's pretty much the same as you're going to see on any other bike, except for now you have your mode selector, and then you can obviously, once you've selected your mode, change the parameters up and down with this arrowed button, the selector in the middle. Your high beam and low beam, your turn signal, left, right, and the cancel is pushing it in the middle. You have a hazard button right here, and you just slide that over. You can see that you get your hazards, and then your horn. Over here, super simple, you've all seen it. Your on-off switch and your starter. Now, I don't know if I have to pull the clutch. We're going to find out. Nope. Sounds really good. Sounds like a Cowie. Oh, that's a glorious sound. Oh my goodness. I love it. This is high beam, low beam, high beam, low beam. Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh yeah. That gets you going. Too bad we got all this snow out there today, because this thing would love to go for a ride. Me included. Okay, so that's your left front turn signal, integrated turn signal. Left rear on the stalk. Right rear on the stalk. And right front integrated. Okay, so brakes is a foot. And handbrake. So, you know, again, everything works. It's 2019, super low mileage. Awesome, awesome shape. Beautiful color. Got the M4 exhaust on there for that extra added attitude. But look at that sleek design. It is just a great thing that today we get to see all of these new bikes coming out and how refined they've become through the years. Because every company wants your money. They want you to buy their bike. So they're building these machines now to such tolerances and performance performance goals. And look, all you got to do is turn on any of the race series, and there's a lot of them. There's smaller series throughout the countries, different countries. Everybody's got their Supersport, some sort of a Supersport class, stock Supersports. But that's what these things are born and bred for. They are the most fun when you can get them out on the track and start ripping through lap times. And that is what this is designed to do, is to take your riding ability and elevate it. So if you're just a casual street rider, well, bike's obviously more than enough for you. But these things, boy, you feel engaged. You feel as though you're a fighter pilot. And look at the front of this thing. Now, this is centrally located. Again, if you're looking at the GP series, pretty much all the bikes have that centrally located intake, because all the highest pressure of the air is right in the front of the bike. So you get that air going right into the motor, sucking it right into there, mixing it with your fuel, causing this thing to sound awesome and pull like a freight train, kick like a ninja. And it does. It's such an awesome bike. And the front of the machine, it's gotten smaller, obviously. You can see the older version, which is really cool that we have that here. Now, every one of our bikes at CycleHunters.com gets a 48-point checklist. So we're going over things, even on these newer models, as much as we possibly can to ensure that when you get a bike from us, it's as close to 100% as we can make it. So yeah, they're going to have some dings. You're going to have a little bit of blemishes and some things like that from here and there and kind of everywhere. It's the used machine. However, there are varying degrees of the condition, and this one is a tip-top condition. It's great. Beautiful bike. So with the 48-point checklist, battery tender leads, oil and filters, basic stuff, we go through the bike as best as we can to make sure that it is really put together well. And all you're going to do is jump on the bike, turn the key, thumb the starter, flip your visor down, twist that throttle, go down the road with a big smile on your face. When you hammer that gas on this thing, it's going to sound awesome ripping up the road. It is definitely going to sound good. Gorgeous. Very cool bike. So, if you are digging the 2019 Kawasaki Ninja ZX6r 636, give us a call, 717-273-1809. You can see our full list of current inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. All the prices, everything is listed there. You can call us, like I said. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have some aftermarket warranties available, financing options available. It comes down to what is it that we need to do to try to help accommodate you so that you can have something like that in your garage. Or any one of these beautiful babies, these beautiful ladies. Even down to the older bikes, we try to do our best to make sure that you get a bike as close to 100% as we can make it. This one is not a struggle at all to get it to that point. Except for a couple of those little minor blemishes. I mean, this is a like new machine. A lot of meat on the tires. Yeah, that's a cool looking bike. Boy, oh boy. Alrighty, well, I can't wait till we get to the next one. But until the next bike, happy riding.